Why do you support Trump?
Like, it's just the cutting down on the border crossings. I don't think is very safe.
Why?
Um, well, like they're coming from, like dangerous countries, like this undocumented and stuff like that. Um, it's just not that safe. So,
Okay, so they're coming from dangerous countries. Okay, I have a question. Do you
yeah.
would you accept if you lived during like the times of the Holocaust, Jewish refugees from the Holocaust?
Um, like, what do you mean? Sorry, can you
Yeah, like
explain that
do
again?
you think that the U.S. should have accepted Jewish refugees from the Holocaust because they're coming from a dangerous country?
Mm. No, the dangerous country got defeated. I mean, it's over for them.
Well, I'm asking, but if you
Yeah,
lived at the
I
time,
see the point you're trying to make. I see, yeah. Well, the thing is, right, like those are refugees, but also
but they're coming from a
that's
dangerous
more,
country. So the idea that an immigrant is
well, hold
coming
on.
from a dangerous country is not
Well, I
reason
wasn't
to
done.
not let them come to the country. Go ahead though.
Yeah, no, no, you're good. I was just, I didn't finish. But, yeah, so like I was saying, the refugees, but, the thing is, though, it's like, that's more of the exception, not the rule. And the United States government, um, they looked through it. They made the decision to take them in, and they made also the decision to take in a certain number of refugees. If they wanted to take in, like, let's say they took in 100,000 total, just refugees in general, and they just or but they like, but instead of that, they could have chosen like 6,000 because that was safer or whatever. Like they could have done that if they wanted to put their people first. Yeah.
I'm confused.
Do you?
What I'm
Sorry, did I may have
saying.
explained it wrong.
Are you
Do you
saying that
understand what I'm
like you
saying?
would restrict people from coming from dangerous countries?
No, what I'm saying is that when the United States, first of all, that's World War II, right? It's the biggest war. I mean, like 80 million people died, right? Um, and people are like their lives are destroyed and things like that, and they accepted refugees, but they only accepted a certain number. Um, and they did that because they could have chosen more, but they did it for a reason, right? And if they had legitimate reasons to reduce that number to something else, then yeah, they could have done that absolutely. I don't think there's anything wrong with that if they think that it was unsafe for the country.
Okay. Undocumented immigrants commit crimes at lower rates than natural born U.S. citizens by multiple times. Lower in violent crime, and property crime. Given that that's the case, what makes you think that if there were more undocumented immigrants in the country, that it would make the country less safe?
Can I see this? What studies? Is that for all states?
PNAS.org. And also, yes, there are plenty of states. What I was referencing was one from Texas, but there's also a bibliography in my bio where I have information about, a bunch of different states in terms of the comparing undocumented immigrants. That was set up by my friend Matt, who's a librarian, who's fucking based. We love Matt here.
Okay, hold on. What's the study called? So I can look it up. Because I'm
Uh,
not denying it. I
just
think it is
just
probably
look up
true. Yeah.
PNAS undocumented immigrants uh, versus natural born U.S. citizens crime rate.
ENS
Yeah,
on
PNAS.
PNAS undocumented immigrants.
Yeah,
Um, is this what state is this exactly?
Texas.
What year is this? 20. It says 2020, right?
Pretty sure.
2012. Let's see. U.S.-born citizens are two times more likely to be arrested for violent crimes, crimes, four times more likely for property crimes. In addition, the proportion of arrests involving undocumented immigrants is roughly stable. Uh, and between U.S.-born citizens and undocumented immigrants are robust using alternative estimates of the border undocumented immigration and alternate classifications of those counted as undocumented arrests. Okay, I don't know what this last part means. I'm sorry, but
Essentially, the point is that undocumented immigrants commit less crime than natural born U.S. citizens. So the idea here that you have that undocumented immigrants coming to the country are making the country less safe is actually just complete propaganda.
I don't I don't see how that. No, that doesn't really address it because I mean you're just saying that they're less likely. This is per capita, right?
Hmm.
For this specific study. Yeah, you're just saying that they're less likely to commit crimes. That's it. How does that mean that it's like not unsafe?
How do undocumented immigrants make the country less safe?
Yeah, because they come in from countries. I could probably show you some studies. Like some like Guatemala. I think that's. Let me see. I want to see the. I think they come from
Repeat what you
Guatemala.
just said. I didn't get what you just said there.
I said they come in from countries like Guatemala as well, and like that's not safe.
Coming from, I'm sorry, like, so you're saying you wouldn't accept anyone coming from the country from Guatemala?
Um, I think the U.S. government can like decide whether it's a good idea or not. I don't think it's a good idea though, because the government is pretty corrupt there, and I
Oh,
don't think you should trust the government.
so to clarify, you agree that the government's corrupt, and you don't want anyone to be allowed to come to the country just because the government's corrupt? Isn't that
Well,
like a
the
good reason why you'd want to allow people to come to the country because their government's corrupt?
well the like the thing is, right? We have to put our country first. We
Yeah, that
have
doesn't
to
put our country first. So
prioritize.
to clarify, what about
Well, can you just
Guatemala in
finish?
particular? Just tell me.
I would just like to finish. Yeah, I can read you 2023 Human Rights Report of Guatemala, and it shows that the government taking has taken no steps to address any of these issues.
Yeah, the
It's
government doing wrong is not
2023.
evidence that immigrants coming from Guatemala are a threat to our country. Like, seriously,
I
what?
didn't.
Can you give me any good evidence that Guatemalans that come to the United States, right, are committing crime at
No,
higher
I didn't.
rates?
No, you're not listening. I can give you the source, but
Okay,
the
well,
source
go
shows.
ahead.
Yeah, do you want me to? So it's 2023 Country Report on Human Rights Practices, Guatemala.
Again, no, that's not. You're not providing a source that people coming from Guatemala in the United States have committed more crimes.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you have to give me evidence that people who are coming from Guatemala commit more crime in the United States.
Like than U.S. citizens?
Yeah.
I never made that claim.
Well, you're claiming that Guatemalans that come to the United States are a threat to our country and should not be allowed because their government is dangerous.
I didn't say they're more dangerous than U.S. Born citizens. I
Okay,
never
so then
made
why
that
would you restrict people from Guatemala from coming to the country?
because I don't know how you're not following here. You have a dangerous country with all these gangs, and you have also a corrupt government taking in hundreds of thousands of people from these countries like Guatemala. It's not really. It's That's not
Okay,
safe.
I have a question. Would you have taken refugees from the Soviet Union?
Isn't this just the Holocaust question? I already answered this.
No,
You're
Soviet
just
Union.
looking at that Soviet Union now.
Yeah.
I don't know about the Soviet Union, dude. I don't. Was it like
You
like
wouldn't
I
have
don't know.
accepted refugees from the Soviet Union?
I mean, dude, this is like I was just give you the same answer from like for the H cost. It's if the government deemed it safe and necessary, and yeah, sure, but they're still
It's
gonna
not just
place
whether or not the
background.
government deems it safe and necessary, because whether or not they quote unquote deem it as safe and
Yeah,
necessary
no,
is
that's
totally
fine.
dependent on the level of bigotry that they express in plenty of circumstances. And just
Well,
because they
no,
say that
okay.
doesn't mean it's true. Plenty of people claim that undocumented immigrants, right, are at this greater likelihood, right, of committing crime or are like such a threat
I
to the
never made
country.
that.
They're not.
I never
Undocumented
made the
immigrants
claim.
are not a threat to this country by any means. Give
Okay.
me a single reason why deporting undocumented immigrants that have not committed a violent crime or bad crime is
You
making
mean,
this
well, I'm
country
not talking
safer.
about. No, I'm not even talking about I'm not even talking about deportation.
No,
We're
no, no.
just talking about.
Listen to my point there. Name me a single, like seriously, a
You said
single.
deportations. I didn't talk about deportations. I'm just talking about border crossings.
Name me a single reason why deporting undocumented immigrants who have not committed violent crimes or bad crimes, right, makes
I
the
didn't.
country
I didn't.
safer.
Why do you keep going to deport? I just told you we're talking about border crossings. Why are you going to deportations? We're
Because
just
the
talking
way
about
that
border
you would,
crossings right now.
how do you think we respond to the level of border crossings? Do we deport people
It's like you catch them,
and then do what?
like you catch them, but there's also like security. Yeah,
And then do what?
Well, I don't know. Do you like deport? Would that be even considered deportation? No, I'm just generally asking, dude. I'm like, dude, just answer the question. Like, you don't have to like.
Yes.
Okay, just answer. Just say that then. Okay, I thought you were talking about the ones that are already in this country. That's what I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, we're talking about people in the country.
No, I'm just talking about. I mean, I guess
If
like
if, if
I
someone
wasn't
comes
really.
to the country and then law enforcement finds
I was
them and
specifically
deports
talking. I'm
them, that's
specifically talking about people.
deportation.
No, I'm just specifically talking about people crossing the borders right now.
Like if they're
I'm not talking
turned
about
away
people
at the
who.
border,
Yeah, I guess like sure,
that's
yeah.
not what we were talking about though. That's not no, that's
Okay.
not deportation if
I
you're
think we're
turned away
just
at the border.
okay. I think we were just talking over each other then. But what you were saying about the Soviet Union, like if the government, um, again, if they decide, hey, it's not very safe, we can't take these people in. At least not at this number. We need to
Okay,
take
well,
in
okay,
less
how is it not
refugees. They can
safe?
do that. I'm saying if the government wants to do, I don't know what the government's methods are. I'm just saying if the
Dude,
government,
I'm asking you how you think the government should operate. Like seriously, give me a
the
reason why
Soviet Union,
you
I
no no,
don't
no
know,
how about
dude.
this? How about this? Give me yeah, because like you wouldn't have restricted people from the Soviet Union, even though you think that the Soviet Union was dangerous.
If they were to use like specific methods, and they said, for example, hey, we thought 60,000 was was a good number. That's actually not. We ran it. It's probably not going to be a good idea. Let's take in like 30,000. I'm just giving an example, and they said, hey, this is for the safety of the country. Then yeah, like there's no problem. It's fine. We're not obligated to take in refugees, bro, or any immigrants. We're not obligated to do that. We can just completely close our borders and not take anyone in. We don't have to take people in. We're a sovereign country.
I think that's wrong.
You can think it's wrong, but I'm just saying we don't have to do that. Like we're not obligated to take in refugees. It's sure it can be a good thing. I'm
Well,
not
we
saying
are
it's
because it's
bad.
beneficial for our economy, right? It's beneficial for them, and
Okay,
it's
well,
beneficial for us.
I don't really
And it's
think
morally good
America.
to help people who are in need in those circumstances because it is a case that they're fleeing oppression.
Okay, I don't really think America is an economic zone. I think it's actually our home and not
I think
just
that
like.
here's my idea of America.
But it's
America
fine.
is a melting pot of people from all around the world, and no matter who
A
you are
melting
around the
pot.
world, you can come to this country if you've not committed a violent crime or bad crime, and it is the case that you can become an American. Anyone around the entire world, I don't care where you're from, if you haven't committed a violent crime or bad crime, you can become an American. Point blank, period. That's the
I
great
mean,
thing
that was
about
just.
the United States of America is that when you come to this country and you immigrate here, you become an American.
Okay,
That's
I
a
mean,
great
with
thing. And I think that immigration is something that we should accept as a fundamental aspect of our culture and what the identity of what being an American is. The identity of being an American includes the fact that we are supportive of people coming from all around the world to America because it's the best country, right, that we can create for people when it is the case that we are accepting of people. It is way better of a country, America, right, if it is the case that we are willing to accept people from all around the world to make our country a better place. It benefits you. It does. It absolutely benefits you.
um, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. No, it does not. I don't think it does actually. But like, I don't. Again, I'm not just for the economy. I think it's more than that. I don't think America is an economic zone. Like I said, it's our home.
What do you mean?
And
What do you mean by economic zone?
because when you just say, "Oh, well, it's good for the economy, man," like it's just good for the economy. It's like, yeah,
Oh,
sure,
so
it
you don't
might
care.
increase
You just
GDP,
don't
but
care about the economy essentially.
I
You
didn't
don't
say
care
that.
about the
But
level of safety. What is worse about allowing for more immigration?
well, I mean, Japan received two nuclear bombs and they didn't die from that. If you were to give them like a
J- J-
mass migration,
yeah,
that would
Japan
destroy
would.
Japan.
No, it wouldn't. Japan needs mass
Yes, it
migration.
would.
What?
No, they just need to have kids, bro. That's all.
Wait.
They
What?
literally just need to have kids. That's all they
Explain to
need,
me.
just have
Wait,
kids.
hold up. Why is it preferable to have kids rather than to allow for immigration?
Because the country it'll probably be more devastating than two nuclear bombs. Like, let's be honest. Like, if you were to have like a bunch of like third world migration, like the country's gonna turn into a third world country, and it's not even gonna be the same country anymore. It's gonna be
Oh,
completely different.
okay. So he thinks that when people come from countries around the world, right, it makes our country worse off. What evidence do you have
It could change
that
it.
our
I think it does.
economy
Yeah.
becomes worse off because people
I didn't say
immigrate to this
economy.
country from places around the world that might not be as well off as we are.
Wait, I didn't even say about what. What do you mean economy? I'm not even. You're the one who's talking about economy, dude. You're trying to make it seem like America is all about the economy,
Wait,
bro. Like
what do
it's
you
just
mean by
money,
third
bro.
world country?
Like just poor. I guess just third world countries. I don't know. Just any third
What does
world
that
country.
mean?
Well, actually, it doesn't even have to be third world country. Like even
Like,
if
can
it
you just
was
tell me
like,
what you mean by that?
no, I'm saying. Well, I'll just correct myself. It doesn't have to be necessarily a third world country.
Oh, really? So what are you referencing then?
Well, if Japan were to take in um, even like Chinese immigrants, like it would the country would change. Or if he was like even
What's wrong with the country changing? The country changes
well,
also when you have more kids.
although obviously if it were to be because like China and Japan they do have similarities, so it's not going to be like as different than like people from other different
Oh,
countries.
okay. So he's saying culture. You're saying culture wise?
Not just culture, but like
What's harm?
like
What?
mix as
Tell
well.
me.
Yeah.
When someone comes from another country around the world, what's harmful to our culture when someone does?
Well, I mean, don't you think America like until like the 1965 Act, like it was kind of just like a white like European country? Wouldn't you say that?
Oh, look at it right here. This racist piece of shit.
No, man, it's
Whoa! Look at
facts.
him right here. See it right there. Look at that. That right there. That's it. That's it.
That's a fact. It's a
Wait. There
1965
you go. There
Act.
you go. There you go. Mask off. Just mask off. Mask off. He wants the country to be
That's
white.
off.
He wants the
That's not true.
stop talking. Stop talking. Let me talk, please. Let me talk.
Okay, I will.
Let me
But can I
talk.
respond after?
Let me talk. You want the country to be white.
No, not
That's
true.
what you want the country to look like because it's been white in the past. Or is that your view?
No, no. You want me to explain?
Yeah, I'm
Well,
waiting.
America has always been historically predominantly sure it's been predominantly white, but it's also been African American and Native American. I want it to be like that, preferably. Um,
Originally
what
was indigenous, right? Do you agree?
there was no America before like the Europeans came though.
Okay, so
Like
so
there was no United States, dude.
oh, okay, so that you just don't recognize it.
What, no, they're still Amer. No, they'll still be here. I'm not like I
There
don't
were
think we should
people
get
living
rid of
here
them all.
before, right?
No.
So there still was a country.
No, there was no country. There was no United States. It was just
Wait,
like
to clarify, the United States was not recognized as a country, but what we call the United States, right, in itself, in that geographical location, that still existed. And there were people that lived there. Do you agree?
there was like different tribes. You know, there was like probably
That's
different tribes. But there was no like
people who
civilization.
live
There
there,
was no
right?
civilization. Well, there's no civilization. Like there was nothing there.
What is civilization?
You know, like dude, just like civilization, bro. Like
It's
factories.
just civilization, factories,
Just,
bro. So civilization didn't
yes,
exist until
bro.
the Industrial Revolution.
Well, no, not just factories, bro. Like you
What
know what
is
I'm talking about.
civilization?
Like European civilization.
Oh, so he
European.
only categorizes civilization as European civilization.
It was predominantly Europeans' inventions. You
Wait,
know,
no,
it
no.
was
Why are only European civilizations
I could be
designated
wrong
as
though.
civilizations?
Was it not predominantly European? It was always a predominantly
I'm
European
sorry.
country.
Did civilizations exist prior to the United States of America being designated as a country?
There was other countries before, yeah, sure.
There were people that lived there, correct? So how come they don't have
Yeah.
a right over the land in that type of way in order to say that like it should look, right? Like this country should be mostly indigenous. Why don't they have a right to say that under your view?
They weren't the ones that built it, bro. Like, come on. Dude, I'm not even white, bro, and I'm saying this shit. Like, come on. Like, you're white.
Wait,
You're
hold
supposed to
up.
be saying this, and I'm saying this stuff for you.
Oh, okay.
Like, come on.
Yeah, because I'm not insane. I don't support
What,
racist
supremacy?
ideologies like you are, regardless of whether or not you're a white. This is racist ideology by
Someone
definition.
said they were conquered. That's true. They were conquered.
What? What'd you say?
No, someone in the chat said that they were conquered.
I'm confused. I'm yes, people were the land was stolen. You do agree the land was stolen?
Like, what do you mean by stolen? What does that mean?
People lived on the land prior and had ownership over that land, and then people came, murdered people at mass, killed their children, and took their land, and then forced them onto reservations.
Um, like I said, like
Did you
there was
not
like
go to?
different
Did you not
tribes.
take history class?
Dude, there were different tribes, bro. They were literally like fighting
Did you
each
go
other.
to history class? Genuinely,
Yeah, sure.
did you pay attention?
I tried to. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It doesn't seem like you did.
Bro, someone said PragerU. I don't watch PragerU. Okay, you take that back. Someone said I watch PragerU. What is this guy talking about?
PragerU knows more than you. Genuinely,
Okay, but I do not. No, okay. Do not compare me to PragerU, bro. Come on.
they probably know more than you.
Okay, but you cannot compare me. Chill. You can't. Do not compare me to PragerU. They're my ops, like dead ass. Those guys
Why?
are my
Why?
ops. Because, bro, it's like, dude, these guys pretend like they're America first and like they're like these like conservatives, and it's like they just like bro, they just show for Israel, but like I don't like it, dude. Like I'm for free Palestine, okay?
I have a feeling that you're only free Palestine because you're literally anti-Semitic.
It's not true. I actually love everyone. I try to be
I
as
believe in
nice.
a free Palestine, absolutely. But I have the feeling that you're a racist, anti-Semitic piece of shit, and that's the reason why you're saying that right now.
It's not true. I love everyone, dude. I
And
try to love everyone.
I don't like the fact that you are associated with the movement in free Palestine. You are not on the
What?
side of self-determination and human rights, right? And a free Palestine.
I don't place race over God. I'm not. I can't be a national socialist.
So then why should this country be white?
No, but like,
So then why should this country be white?
no. I'm saying that I want the country to be predominantly. Yeah.
So then why should this country be white? Explain that to me. If you don't
Yeah,
care
that's just
about
how.
race, please
No, that's
explain to me why this country should be white.
no. But like placing race over God would mean like it would mean kind of like doing what like the Nat Sox did.
Wait, I have a question. Are you Christian?
I mean, I'm not allowed to like teach about like Christianity.
Oh, don't even tell me that. What would Jesus say? Would Jesus say that
Well,
this country should be white?
Jesus actually says to
Or
give
would
unto
Jesus
Caesar
say no
what's
matter
Caesar's,
who
right?
you are or where you are in your walk of life, you are welcome here? That's what I heard growing up. That's what I learned. No
You're
matter who you are,
Protestant.
no
You're
matter at what point you are in your walk of life, you are welcome here. That was the message
what?
that I learned.